Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It has been a few weeks since we have done this. We are back for some League One roundup. Yes, it has been a strange few weeks. We are going to go through. We have got a bumper pack show. We've got over an hour of content for you guys tonight. Let me know if you can see and hear me down in the comments down below. So basically, the last show that we did, I believe, was the 13th of December. Now, since then, there has been, loads of games called off. On the 18th, I believe there's only 5 League One games played. On Boxing Day, I think there's only 4 or 5 again played. On the 29th, there was about 3 or 4 played. And again, in the new year, there's only a few played. There's been games whitewashed out with COVID-19, again with injuries. Fleetwood were victim to a couple of games. Pretty much every team have had their game called off in the last few weeks. However, on Saturday, we pretty much, there was 5 games on, and everyone else was called off due to the FA Cup, pretty much. So that was good news. Again, we'll go on to the FA Cup results for some teams. Like Cambridge had a massive upset. Morecambe did really well against Tottenham Hotspur. And again, there was just some really good games in the FA Cup. But League One is our focus. We're going to talk today about the 5 games on Saturday. We're going to go through the festive period from what we missed. And we're also going to discuss the League One debut. Plus, we have got my League One team of the season so far. Yes, again, I have got reasons. I probably will have to quit YouTube after I've done my 11, but it's my opinion. Let us know yours down below. When we do it, we'll come to the first game from Saturday. First, we're going to come to the comments. If you could like today's stream as you're popping in, that'd be massively appreciated. I believe we're very close to 7,800 subscribers. I did accidentally delete my League One halfway prediction. Again, basically what happened was YouTube has been taking ages to process my recent videos, and it's happened, it processed twice. So I thought, I'll get rid of the one that didn't go up. Well, that one was the one that went up, and it duplicated, and it was a nightmare, and it got rid of it. So we know for next time. Hello, George. Good win for Lincoln. Again, first win for Lincoln on Saturday. First win in 7. We'll come to that in a minute. Bolton Wanderers are going to win. I am actually, there's not going to be a vlog on it, but I am going to hopefully watch Bolton against Wycombe tomorrow night. So hopefully that will be a good game. McKenna's at the wheel. Yes, he is. And we're going to come to those games just now. Again, some great games on Saturday, loads of goals, considering there wasn't many games. And first of all, we're going to start off with Wycombe Wanderers against Sunderland. Now, Wycombe again have been a side that stop-start really, but Sunderland again had a really good start to the season, had a 5-game bad patch, which I believe everyone in this League One season has had, bar Rotherham and Wigan, and they're there in the table for a reason. But Sunderland, they're 10 unbeaten. They're going about it quietly, and they've hit the 50-point mark. Now, when you hit the 50-point mark, it's a big relief, because I always say, get to 50 points, then you can build again. Then your next chapter. Now, Sunderland, if they want to get promoted, they're over halfway there in the points tally. Are we over halfway there in the games tally? Yes, we are, but they're on track now. Again, Stockdale with an own goal, and Ross Stewart with 2 goals. And when he puts the ball in the back of the net in the 93rd minute, again, I think that's 17 for the season for that man. 6 goals in 3. He is on fire. He did go on a goal job, but once he gets one, you knew he was going to go and get a hatful. And that is what he's done. But Wycombe are dogs, they're animals, they never give up. And again, when you score the 93rd minute to win a game of football, and then get pegged back in the 96th minute, Joe Jacobson again, that's 4 goals for the season for him. To equalise for a good point, Maheti getting his 4th goal of the season, Vokes getting another goal as well, and that's 8 for him for the season as well. What a signing he has been since joining from Stoke, and he's got that Premier League and Championship experience with Burnley as well. But Joe Jacobson, in the last 2 home games, has rescued a point for them. Once against Wimbledon in the 96th minute, and now against Sunderland. What 2 points that could be. That could be the difference to get into the playoffs, or even send them up. You see these, we're at the time of the season now where you see the points going on the board, and you see you move up the table, and you see gaps appearing in the table. Those points could be vital for Wycombe. But again, Sunderland, if they win the next one, they're okay. I mean, it's important for them to carry on that streak that they're on, 10 unbeaten. They've been excellent at home. Last year they weren't good enough at home, and that's what cost them. I think they're only averaging 1.53 points a game at home last year. They're well over 2 points a game at the minute. So really good start for Sunderland. Again, but Wycombe, good side. They'll be up there at the end of the year. Accrington against MK Dons. So Accrington 1, MK 1, and Accrington have actually only lost 1 in 7, which is a decent little bit of form. We also getting pegging back Colby Bishop's effort after 25 minutes. 7 points from the last 5 games for MK Dons. You do want to be looking at to get 9 from every 5, really. But if they're going to get 12 out of the next 5, again, they made amends for that little bit of form. Again, Stanley were down to 10 men. Liam Coyle getting sent off quite early. Again, McConville, I think he's been excellent this season. He scored the winner against Rotherham just a couple of weeks ago on Boxing Day. An overhead kick, and he gets his assist for Bishop. I think that's 7 assists for that man this season. He's been outstanding. Good point for Stanley, who marched on and continue to really climb up that table. Cheltenham against Burton. Now, Cheltenham again have been poor of late. They are 7 without a win, but you have drawn 4 of those. And if you can just turn 1 into a win, you're all right. They are still 7 points above the drop. I still believe they'll be in a drag race, but I still think they'll be okay. And O'Wright, again, getting another goal. He's been outstanding this season since he joined on loan. Jefferson did tie the game back. That's his 6th goal of the season. Big news coming out of Burton that Kane Hemmings, who scored a ridiculous goal against Crewe just a week before, has handed in a transfer request. Now, if I was to put my money on where he was to go, where he would be to go, I could see him going to Rotherham United. Now, Rotherham have also said Freddie Ladapo has handed in a transfer request. Now, Ladapo has got 8 goals to his name this season. I could see him going to somewhere like a Preston, who he's worked with Ryan Lowe before at Plymouth. I could see him going to Preston to work with Ryan Lowe, and then replace him with Kane Hemming, which isn't, it's pretty much like for like swap. Hold up striker, big, physical, likes to get the ball to his feet. Good in the air, can score goals, physical presence, League One experience. But again, good point for both sides. 4 points from the last 2 games for Burton, beating Crewe and Cheltenham. You would expect them to get 4 points. You'd be disappointed if they didn't. Again, Cheltenham will be fine this season, in my opinion. And they have won 5, drawn 4, lost 4 at home. So that's a tidy little bit of a home form. 19 points from 13 games, over a point and a half a game. Good little bit of form for them. Doncaster 0, Fleetwood 1. Stop the count. Fleetwood have won an away game for the first time in 17 weeks or 119 days. Now, Doncaster have only got 1 win in 12, and they are 9 points adrift. They scored 16 goals all season. 16 goals. Their top goal scorer, Oluwu, has got 3. They've changed manager again. Max Sheffrey, I think he only won 1. Now, last week, Doncaster, at half-time, had not won away. They were 3-0 up against Morecambe, who are also down there. You thought, something, it brings them back a little bit. They lost 4-3. The character for Morecambe to come back, fair play, goals from Stockton, Tumani Diarra to get a late goal. But that Doncaster squad, the mentality is not right. They're just so poor. They've got no goal threat. They're not good enough defensively. No creativity. So easy to play against. They're too nice. They've got no one in the middle. And I said this after lost to Ipswich. Again, there's just no nastiness in that side. They used to have a Ben Whiteman, who would just dictate everything, dictate the tempo. They've just lost that spine of that team that they had for so long. And unfortunately, it's come back to bite them. And there's something special under Darren Moore. Again, they gave it to Butler, a temporary manager. Then they got the appointment wrong in Richie Wellens, in my opinion. I think he's an absolute awful manager, really. I don't know if any of you have seen the Salford documentary lately. What he said to his players about, let's do it for the money, let's do it for this. And then, I believe this one can go up then in January. I need 11 new players. That just tells me it's not the squad. It comes down to the manager sometimes. Yes, you can blame the players so much, but then you've got to look at the manager However, it's not changed with Gary McSheffrey. I do believe that squad is weak, but I just don't know. This is the worst side I think I've seen in League One. Now, I've been to over 300 Fleetwood games, I think now. Probably about 230 of them are in League One. I reckon they're the worst side I've seen in League One. And that the other two, I'd say, was Chesterfield in 16-17 when they went down, or Coventry in the same year when they went down as well. They were horrendous sides. This Doncaster side could go down under 20 points. It really wouldn't surprise me. They are on 16, maybe 25 points. I can't see them getting any more than 10 points for the rest of the season. Knowing I've said that, they'll beat Fleetwood, they'll catch us up, and they'll get out of relegation. But take nothing away from Fleetwood. I thought it was a gritty performance. You can say that's 11 points in 7 under Stephen Craney. However, if you look at the games played, Bolton, Gillingham and Doncaster, I expected a minimum of 7 points. We got 9, which is very good. Morecambe, throw that in the mix, you expect 10 points. That's what we got. That's what we got. We failed against Shrewsbury. We were awful. And Accrington. I don't think we've been properly tested yet. Our proper tested games got postponed against Wigan and Sunderland. That's where I'll see where we're at. But Camps is back. Ellis Harrison, great goal. It was Paddy Lane's goal, basically. The way he just drove in 8 assists for that man this season. Second away win of the season. It's a big, big month for the Con Army. I do believe they need another 5 players at least. Again, I think Conor McLaughlin's contract has run out now. So, again, big month for the gods. And we'll go to the last game and then we'll come to your guys' comments. Keep liking and subscribing, guys. That'll be massively appreciated. And Lincoln get their first win since October 26th after that 2-1 win away at Wigan Athletic. And they, again, 7 games without one. They did lose 4, draw 3. Scully back on the goal sheet, 8 goals for the season. And Whittaker with the second on debut on loan from Swansea City. However, Oxford, that was their first away defeat in 7. They've been pretty good on the road of late. Lincoln do go above Fleetwood on goals, based on goal difference. Fleetwood do move down a place from that 1-0 win. They go from 19th to 20th, and Lincoln just have a little bit better of a goal difference with that -5. The bottom 6 looks as Doncaster on 16, Crewe on 18, Gillingham on 18, Morecambe on 23, Fleetwood 25, Lincoln 25, and then you've got Wimbledon, Bolton, and Cambridge all chasing. I do believe that the bottom 3 are done now. Again, Gillingham, we'll come to them in just a minute. We're going to come to your guys' comments before that. McKenny's at the wheel. Absolutely. Bottom 100s are going to win. Clark and Lane both had really good games on Saturday. What do you make of it? If I'm honest with you, I thought Tom Clark was absolutely unbelievable. And Tom Clark's had his critics this year. I think, bar Paddy Lane and Danny Andrew, Tom Clark's my player of the season, in my opinion. Jed Garner scored important goals, but Tom Clark has been an absolute brick wall. He's had poor games, admittedly so, but Fleetwood would be a lot worse off without him. He was a centre-half who, Salford didn't want last season. I know he worked with Grayson for a long while at Preston. That was probably, in my opinion, maybe our signing of the summer. And it, especially where we've fallen short of the back, his experience has led us through games. I thought it was absolutely terrific. Paddy Lane was amazing, but he doesn't surprise me anymore. People say, oh, he's on and off. He's a young lad. He's what, 20 years of age? You're not going to be performing every week. This is the thing that you're going to have to understand with Fleetwood. 1 week we're going to be amazing. 1 week we're not going to be amazing. Young players cannot do it every week. They cannot. They need a little bit of guidance. And Paddy Lane is one that is unbelievable at times. He just reminds me of Ash Hunter. Brilliant crossover ball, can cut in, can score you a goal. Yes, he only got 1 goal, but 8 assists. He's averaging an assist every 4 games. Mate, unbelievable. What a player. People are saying that Wigan might overtake Sunderland with 3 games in hand, but people are forgetting that Rotherham are 1 point ahead. In my opinion, I still believe Wigan and Rotherham will go up, but I think Wigan have got 25 games to play in 109 days. You've got to remember, the season ends on the 30th of April. Today's the 10th of January. 25 games they've got to play in 109 days. What's that? 4.1 days you've got to play every game? Something like that. So you're going to have to pretty much, before now the end of the season, Saturday, Tuesday. So you're going to probably have maybe 2 or 3 Tuesdays off. Max. Maybe 1 week they'll have to play. I think 1 week they have Saturday, Friday. They might have to go Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, or something like that, just to get the games in. That's what? You're going to have to play 4 games in about 8 days. It's going to be a long, hard slog for them. And yes, they have got the squad, but it is hard. Fleetwood gives them something to build on. Surely they have 4 worse clubs than Fleetwood. I think there's 3. Now, we're going to come to that, where yesterday, the news broke that Gillingham had parted company with its manager, Steve Evans. Now, Steve Evans, for the first 2 years, I thought he did a very good job. Short budget. I thought he did well on the scraps he had. I thought he brought some good players to the football club. He's brought some big players that have played big parts over the, he's had, you've had your Olivers, you had your Cal Dempsey, who's been amazing. Max Amos come back this year. I don't think he's hit the ground running like he did when he left. You've got Jordan Graham, who did very well, who left in the summer. And they're always going to be, they've had decent little players. And they've always finished mid-table, but they've always had, if they win in, they're just outside the playoffs. And that's what you want to have at Gillingham Football Club, a side fighting. And this year, he did lose a big budget. Well, he wasn't on a big budget, sorry. Pretty much cutting off. A lot of his better players going, Jordan Graham, and he's working on with a small squad like Fleetwood in an embargo. One thing Fleetwood have to them, Fleetwood have a good youth academy and a good development, so where we've had to dip in. Like to Paddy Lane, like to Jay Matete, like to James Hill, Harrison Oldgate, Jed Garner, those types, we just came through. Now you're seeing Kean Hayes, and you've got so many just behind that. Barry Bagley, Johnston as well has been amazing of late. They don't have that, and that is what has led to them. They've won 3 games all season. Yes, they have drawn 9, and they've been unlucky. They've lost 12 games. They've only scored 18 goals all season, which is less than a goal a game, which is what, 0.75 goals a game. It's not good enough. They conceded 38. They conceded 4 at the weekend, getting beat 4-0, 3-0 down after 25 minutes. Not good enough. They have given the job to Steve Lovell, I believe, on a short-term basis. Now, Steve Lovell has managed a football club in the past. He's a chance to impress. Do I think Gillingham will stay up? No, I don't. I do think this year is their year to go down. I was speaking to one of my mates who's a Gillingham fan. He's a good lad. And he goes to every game and he says that they're heading for non-league. A bit like Southend. There's no input. There's no money there. There's no future there for the football club. There's no new fans coming. The gates are getting worse. And when that happens, as a football club, you are looking, bleak, really. And something drastically needs to happen to that football club, even if you're putting the money into the future. If you go down this year, I believe Crewe and Doncaster, Crewe and Morecambe in that bottom 4 are the 2 sides more likely to come back up than Doncaster and Gillingham, because Morecambe got up on a the determination, the grit that they have. They've been able to sell players on like the Mendes Gomez, the Sam Lavells, Sonogos, and they've got Stockton coming through now. They've got a couple more hidden gems down there. Gills and Donny don't have that. They're a young side, small budget. Don't even have managers. Where Crewe and Morecambe have decent managers and decent little inputs. But right decision for me. But we spoke 5 weeks ago and said Steve Evans is looking to go to another football club. I believe Mansfield were having a look at him, and a couple of others were having a little bit of a look at him down in League 2 and League 1. They could have got Compo. They rejected it, and now they've sacked him. So that's football for you. It's a mental game. Again, they are losing to sides around. They lost to Fleetwood. I thought they were very poor. They did get a decent point away at MK Dons, but when you go and lose 4-0 at home, it's no excuse. It's a poor result. And Steve Evans wove goodbye to the Gills. We're going to come to your guys' comments. Bolton is going to win. Hemming's either going to Salford or Tranmere. If that is true, I'm not being funny. What a sign that will be for Salford. For me, he's a League One player. He scores goals. I know he's only scored 4 this season, but it's just these money. Like Fleetwood, I can't talk. I'm a Fleetwood fan, and we've been guilty of signing players for big money in the past. Glenn Whelan, Paul Cooch, Jamil Matt, big wages. But go and have some desire. Go and play in League One, like League Two. Come on, man. Ben, Doncaster and an embargo like us, they have had terrible chances. They aren't, but apparently they signed 1 player and that was the budget gone. So for me, tells you a lot about that football club at the minute. Signing window is Theo Corbin from Wolves on loan. Cracking sign. Exactly. Every time I watched him for Sheffield Wednesday, I thought there was a player in there. Again, I think it's a big loss. Gallon Lung Rosler is the best Fleetwood manager ever. Had 4th place finish with their limited squad. Absolutely, I agree. If I'm to say, I pretty much the only player I'd have from that squad, Juve was not taking loan signings out. I'd have Bawley in up front 100%. I'd have Lane over Ash Hunter for me. I like Ash, but I'd rather have Paddy Lane, a bit younger. I'd have Brannigan back in RB, but he was only on loan. But you think about it, these similar squads, I know we've been unlucky with injuries, but Uwe Rosa got us nearly promoted with a squad and a budget like this. It just tells you a lot, you know. Surprised you only took us for 3rd. It's just with Streaky Lee, you never know. You do never know. Hello, Katie. Again, so we're going to come to the Christmas festive period where we go and have a look at everyone's festive period. If you can like the stream, we're on 12 likes. Let's try and get to 25 likes. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're closing on 7,800. So, again, we're going to start off from the bottom. Now, I'm going to try and do my best to review every team season very quickly. Now, again, at the bottom, Doncaster, awful, you know, all year round, but over the Christmas period, losing 3-0 at home to Sunderland, live on TV. You know, 4-3 to Morecambe, then 1-0 to Fleetwood. You should be looking to get really, if you want to stay up, 4 points minimum. The Sunderland game, you understand, you have to beat Morecambe when you're 3-0 and try and get a point, or even 3 at home to Fleetwood. You know, we were down there with you. You're at home. They've lost 6 of the last 8 games. Awful. Again, Crew did win their first away game of the season, which was good news for them. Away at Morecambe. And you maybe just thought that they were going to go on a run. No, lost 4-1 to Burton last week. That was the first away win. They've got some good players, Crew. You know, Mikael Mandron, Long as well, good player. Porter, 4 goals for that man this season. But again, they just look void. Gills again, what more do we need to say? They just lose. 4-0 to Ipswich, you know, 0-0 to MK. They didn't play for 3 weeks prior to that. Fleetwood was their last game where they lost. You know, Morecambe, again, 0-0 against Fleetwood, decent point. You know, we don't make any ground upon them. And then losing to Crewe, then beating Doncaster. Again, have a great, you know, Emirates FA Cup tie yesterday. 40,000 there in the 3rd round. They'll probably make about, you know, with that FA Cup run, I'd think over £500,000 because you get half the gate receipts. And it would be brilliant if Tottenham could donate their half to Morecambe as well. We've seen it in the past. You know, boxing, they're on TV, so I think you get something like £90,000. Someone may be able to correct me. I'm not sure. Again, a decent little Christmas period. You just need to keep Cole Stockton, and you've got a chance in League One. Just above that, Fleetwood and Lincoln are both fighting it out. You know, both looking at the loan market to stay up. Lincoln are a lot better. I think when they get injuries back, they'll be okay. Fleetwood looking to try and get Jordan Rossiter back. And it's also believed that Joe Garner is leaving the football club, which will be good news. And try and get Jed Garner back and also sign a couple others. Bolton and Wimbledon are 2 clubs slightly getting dragged into it, but Wimbledon have 2, 3, 4 games in hand. A lot of their games of late has been called off. They have, you know, 1 drawn loss in the last 3. Beat Aki away from home, drew to Wycombe and lost as well 3-0 in that period of time. Bolton again have lost the last 7 games, lost the last 7 away games, only scored 1. Ian Doyle scored that. He's gone now, back home to Ireland. It's going to be a big loss. They need to replace him. Shrewsbury have had an amazing Christmas period. Again, beating Fleetwood away from home. First away win of the season. A point at home to Accrington. And then beating Sheffield Wednesday. 7 points has helped them climb up that table to 15th in the table, and well above that drop zone. Now they've got a 6-point gap. Udoa again, 7 goals for the season. Bowman has 6. Udoa did score against Liverpool yesterday. Cambridge as well, or another one. They are through to the next round of the Emirates FA Cup by beating Newcastle United. Again, disappointing in the league of late, losing to Charlton and Rotherham, and only a point at home to Portsmouth. But again, still dragging results out. That Portsmouth result is good because Portsmouth are doing really well in the league. At the minute, Joe Ironside is a goal machine. Cheltenham, again, we've talked about them. They are 7 without a win, but they are a good side, and you've got some good players. Wright was back on the score sheet the other day. Charlton are another one. Again, got knocked out to Premier League Norwich yesterday. Haven't won in the last 2 games. Lost to Plymouth and also lost to Wycombe at home. Not great results, but Stockley and Washington, you've always got a chance. Accrington, 1 defeat in 7, looking towards the transfer window. They have got a good fee for, again, Dion Charles. I think it's £250,000, so they've cashed in there. Burton, 2 positive results of late. A 4-1 win over Crewe and a 1-1 point at the weekend. Sheffield Wednesday, again, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. One of those. Again, beat Crewe 5-0 to Sunderland. Unbelievable results for the Black Cats, and a loss to Shrewsbury. Again, the only goals that they've got in their side, in my opinion, is Lee Gregory. 8 goals. Bar that, Banning has got a bit of creativity. Bar that, they've got absolutely nothing. Ipswich have lost their last won the last 2 games under new management. Again, only 8 points off the playoffs. Norwood has 4 in 4. And with, again, Bolton coming up as well and Aki coming up, you could be looking to close the gap. But this has been Ipswich's problem in previous months where they've not really closed that gap. Again, just need to keep winning games of football. They did that the other day. You got players performing now. Aluko, Norwood, Barn. I think Morsy's been excellent these last 2 games as well. Then we're just looking outside the playoffs. Portsmouth have got 5 clean sheets in 5. They are looking at a totally different team now. Again, they are getting rid of the dead wood. The likes of, we've taken Callum Johnson, who I think has been excellent for us so far this season. Again, coming back from an injury as well. And then you've also got Ellis Harrison, and then you're looking at Mark with leaving the football club. Again, Paul, Downing in at the back as well, is also looking for a new club. Centre half, Fleetwood, I take him every day of the week. Harness is scoring goals, 9 for the season. MK Dons, again, 7 points from 5, disappointing, but again, I think they'll easily make that ground up. They've got Wimbledon at home tomorrow. What a massive game that is! Local derby, the rivalry from the 2 clubs over the years. Big chance for some points. Got some great players in that team. Twine, O'Reilly, Elisa. Again, they've lost Max Waters, who's been recalled. Big loss, but they'll need to replace them. Plymouth again under Schumacher won the last 2 games, just through in the cup with a win over Birmingham, going on Boxing Day and beating Cheltenham away from home, and then beating Charlton at home with big results. Oxford, disappointing result at the weekend, however, again still on decent form. They've only lost to Wigan, bar that, and they have won against MK Dons and Wimbledon in the recent month as well. Wycombe, late comeback kings. They like a late goal. They scored so many late goals this year, not as many as Wigan, but they still score late goals. Again, unbelievable side, Wigan this year. Again, 25 matches to be played this season, but still think they'll be okay as well. Some good results of late. Last time they did play in the league was Oxford, where they won by 3-2. They beat Shrewsbury at the DW late, and they got a great win in the Emirates FA Cup. Liam Richardson is building something at the DW. They knocked out Bolton, Blackburn, they're doing really well in League One. They're looking for the top two, but the top two, Rotherham and Sunderland, both on 50 points. Rotherham have only lost once in their last 23 games. A trip to Fleetwood awaits at the weekend for the Millers to look to retain their top of the table place. But Sunderland are chasing them down. 10 unbeaten, up to 50 points for the season. And again, Stewart is on 17 goals, 6 goals in his last 3 games. Big result. And again, you're looking at still 8 or 9 clubs looking for the playoffs. If you're looking at the table, MK Don's just outside, got Ipswich only 8 points outside now. They have been in that position before, but positive signs, 2 wins from 2 clean sheets, 5 goals scored. Gillingham is not a nice place to go. I know it's been a bit easy to roll over this year, but they're still a very good side. And for me, it will be up there come the end of the season. They just need to work on that consistency, because if they go and lose the next game, the last 2 games are irrelevant and they've lost all. They need to go and win 5 or 6 in a row to have an opportunity, and they can do that. Burton and Accrington up next, a real opportunity. MK Dons Pompey, though, do have a chance. Sheffield Wednesday do need some players in this window. We will have a look at the January transfer window in the coming weeks to see what players brought in. But there's been a few big hitters who'll go out the door at a few football clubs. Now, we'll come to your guys' comments before we get into my League One team of the season. Get liking, guys. Keep liking. We're on 16 likes now, so if you could like the stream and also subscribe, that'd be massively appreciated as well before we get on to the Q&A. I will come to your comments. Love Wes Burns. Would you take Connolly back? I'd absolutely have Connolly back. I think it doesn't help. You played him in central midfield. He's not a central midfielder. And you played him at right back. He's not a right back. He's a centre half, or played just in front of the back 4. That is his position. So if you played him in his actual position, you'd see if he was a good footballer. It's like playing Jerry Yates in central midfield. It just doesn't happen. Callum Connolly is excellent in front of a back 4. Might be in League One, but I'd have him back with a heartbeat. Difficult to criticise our chairman, but sacking Rosa was his biggest mistake. It was. When you played... We went 6 games. We lost 6 games in a row. We lost to Scunthorpe, who were in the playoffs. We played Shrewsbury, who were looking for top 2. Played Blackburn. We played Doncaster, who were looking for a good position as well. And there was a couple of others that were up there. We didn't really play anyone that was down there that beat us, really. And then we had, after that, we had Plymouth Argyle, who were down there. We had loads of teams that were down there that just, but you could say his best decision was this time last year when he parted company with Joey. So, I think every 3 good decisions that Andy's made, he's probably made 1 bad one, but, better than other chairmen as well. Ben, have you heard about Zach Gills on loan to Fleetwood? I have, and I've heard of a couple of others as well. The players turned on the manager and knew we lost the dressing room. It did dramatically change that season, I must admit. I do think the players were looking a bit tired, if I'm honest with you. They looked a little bit like they didn't want to be there, and everything felt a little bit too much intense. I think you need to get through these next 10 games. You just need to say game by game if you're a Sunderland fan. Rob Kelly was doing very well as the number 2 at Fleetwood and was brilliant coach. He's done really well at Wigan. He's done really well at Barrow. Everywhere that Rob Kelly goes, he makes them a better football team. He doesn't want to be a manager. He just wants to be that coach, improves players. A nice guy. I can understand that. But he kept Barrow in the Football League. I think it was last season, didn't he? What a job he did. Hello, Billy. You all right, mate? How are we, Sir Botty? You all right, my mate? Good to hear from you. Uwe Rose was a brilliant manager. His football wasn't the best, but we were solid and had a clinical struggle between Burns and Cole. He got Cole and Burns to score goals, mate. Come on. Christ. Sir Alex Ferguson here. Who's the best Fleetwood player in your opinion, Ben? Oh, that's tough. Matete's good. Now, Matete will play at a higher level. But Paddy Lane for me. I just think with him in the side, we're a different side. Everything creative comes from him. Him and Danny Andrew are, I think between them, they've got 14 assists. That's, well, how many goals did Fleetwood scored this year? I think we scored 38. We scored 37 goals this year. 14 of goals and assists. Andrew's got 12. and Lane's got 9. 21 and 37 have come from those 2 players on the left-hand side. So we've got 16 goals of them 2. So that just tells you a lot. Those 2 players, without them, Fleetwood would be a little bit, I don't think we would be where we are. Even if I just bought my tickets for the next 2 away games, the ticks. Love that. We're going to win Stockport Altrincham. Stockport for me. Now, here we go. Right. League One team of the season. Now, I have tried to get as many different clubs in here as possible. I don't want to have it full of Rotherham United, Wigan, Sunderland players at all, if I'm honest with you. I've tried to spread it out a little bit and be fair on every team. Now, it is a tough one when it's only halfway through a season because I've tried to get players that have played pretty much every game as well. In goal, now, I'll be honest with you, I was torn for options. Now, if you look at the top clubs, Sunderland have had 3 different goalkeepers this year. So it wasn't going to be them. I have gone for Gavin Bazunu. Now, he's played 21 times this year. He's kept 10 clean sheets. And some of the saves he has made in big games, I just think have been absolutely unreal. He's kept 5 in 5 in his last 5 games, 5 clean sheets. Unbelievable. Goalkeeper, some big stops on loan, young goalkeeper, relegation last year, which can affect footballers. For me, good goalkeeper. Over nearly 50%, clean sheet record. If you can keep that up, you're looking at getting Portsmouth into the playoff. Right back, Derikwa, Wigan, solid right back, 2 goals, 2 assists, played pretty much every minute. Solid going forward, great defensively. Pretty much always a 7 out of 10. Solid, everywhere we got. And again, I've only watched him a couple of times this year, but every time I've seen him previously, he's been excellent. And for me, in that team. Also next to him, Jack Watmore. Again, good centre half as well. Solid on the ball, calm. Helps keep clean sheets as well. Wigan have only conceded 20 goals in 21 games. Again, it's hard to look past those 2 players. Watmore was excellent at Portsmouth a couple of years ago. Alongside him, again, I was really torn. Aikwe at Rotherham. Again, I loved him when he was at Accrington. He made that classic tackle on Ashton. If you've not seen him when he was at Accrington. Again, really solid. Pretty much played every minute again as well this season. Left back. I'm biased, but Danny Andrew. Now, you tell me any other left backs that could produce his numbers. I know Joe Jacobson has got 4 goals, 2 assists this year, and he is a very good player, but he has played less than side of a back 3 most of this season. And I'm not going to put him at left back, as that's where he's played. Danny Andrew, to get 6 goals and 6 assists in a side that are 20th in the table. Yes, defensively, Fleetwood haven't been good enough this year, but Danny Andrews' numbers, game on game, is excellent. And again, if he was in a better side, he'd get more and more, numbers as well. So that is my back 4 with Bazunu in goal. Now, midfield 3, I've gone for, it was so tough. I was going to go for Ben Wiles, but I haven't because I've gone for Barlasser instead. I think he's got 5 goals, 5 assists this season. Again, good numbers. Solid numbers as well. And, when you get them, you're always going to be in the conversation to be, in the team of the season as well. So for me, in that list, he's got to be great midfielder. He will, provide solidness, box to box, goal, assist, great pass for the ball. Alongside Matthew O'Reilly. Again, MK Dons. Again, underrated. I think he's got 6 goals, 4 assists this year. Similar to Ben Wiles. I've just gone for O'Reilly. Again, doesn't get the plaudits that others have. Ben Wiles is an excellent midfielder. He could easily be in this list. A central attacking midfielder, in my opinion, the best player in League One and the best player in his position, obviously, and numbers-wise, average per game-wise, every game he's pretty much on it. Scott Twine. I think he's got something like 11 goals at 8 assists. That's 19 goal contributions this season. He scored hat-trick, perfect hat-trick against Fleetwood. Free kick goals, left-footed goals, right-footed goals. He can score headers. Some of the goals he scored for Swindon last year, some of the goals that he scored previously. Again, this is not just a one-season wonder. He's an absolute gem. Can play as a number 9 as well. Better as a number 10, just in behind that striker. I think he'd be perfect in behind my front three. Left-hand side, gone for Athlon. Now, again, he's been hit and miss this season, but when he's been on it, I think he's been absolutely unbelievable. 7 goals to his name, young player, fast, agile, in a struggling Bolton side as well. Right-hand side, who else? Callum Lang, 8 goals, 4 assists this season. I've loved him. I've always liked Callum Lang. Now, after his loan spell to Morecambe, I said, Fleetwood need to go out and get this guy. And he also had a loan spell to Oldham as well. And I said, Fleetwood need to go and get this guy on loan. We never did. Now he's playing week on week for Wigan. He played last season, but been excellent this year. And that front foot, you got, McLean, up front as well. And a White, again, sadly can't play for the rest of the season. But Lang's numbers, Keane as well. McLean, they could all be in this list as well. But up front, who else? Ross Stewart. He's a top goal scorer. Yes, you can have Stockton, who was on 15, but Stewart, again, he is so good. He has scored 17 goals this season. He scored 8 with his right foot, 4 with his left foot. He scored 5 headers. He's only scored 1 penalty as well. And if you do look at the top goal scorers in this league this year, hardly any of them. I think anyone with over 10 goals, the only player to score more than 1 penalty is Joe Ironside, who's got 2 penalties. Stockton, 15 goals. Again, 4 are with his right, 1 with his left. But you look at Stewart's numbers, he gets goals from everywhere. To get half with your right, to get a quarter with your left, to score a third with your right, your head. It just tells you everything you need to know about that player. And for me, perfect striker. Where would you change my 11? Now, if I'm honest with you, I'd probably change Athlon, but I was unsure for who. Now, I had options on the left-hand side. I am going to be honest. I had McLean. I had even Paddy Lane from Fleetwood, who I think could have been, a valuable option. You look at, Pritchard can play on the left-hand side as well. So many players. Give us a couple of names for the left-hand side as well. And where would you change that team? Because I don't think that's too far off a very good 11. I think you've got left footers, you've got right footers, you've got goal scorers, you've got box-to-box midfielders, you've got a bit of solidity there. You've got, versatile wingers. Lack can play on any side, Athlon can play on any side. You've got Swine can play up front as well. Dan Neil, again, Dan Neil could have got in easily. It's just so hard to get everyone in. Dan, again, a lot saying Dan Neil again. Langy, Roscoe, you all right, mate? Hope you're doing well. We're gonna Remus watching on Cogs's past the mic. That was a peak lockdown. Oh, I always love going on Cogs's show, and hopefully he might do them again one day. Peter's been unreal. He's been like McGeady when he first came to Sunderland in League One. Absolutely unbelievable. George Edmondson, I did tweet with George Edmondson, but they've conceded a lot more goals than Wigan. And for me, I just think for the solidity and where Sunderland, for where Wigan are, because of the clean sheets, a lot of players are versatile and can play everywhere. E.g. Tariq, where Power, McLean, Mass. Exactly. That's what Wigan did really well in the summer. And that's why 25 games in 109 days might not fear them as much. So, we are coming to the Gooch. Again, good players. So many players that we could go to. Now, we are coming to the Q&A part. The last 15, 16 minutes, ask me anything. So, we've had a busy show. We've talked about all the show, all at the League One. Christmas period. Again, I am sorry there's not been a show. There's been literally no League One news to really talk about because we've had so little games on. We are back now on a regular weekly basis. If there isn't a show on a Monday, there will hopefully be one on the Sunday or the Tuesday. Again, we are trying to, get to a lot more League One games. We are hopefully going to Bolton Wycombe tomorrow. I aren't going to vlog. I just want to watch it because I do need to watch, Bolton properly. And Wycombe, I've only seen, once this season when they're at Fleetwood as well. So yeah, pop your questions in. Anything about League One or football in general. Can we do it on a rainy day in Stoke? Again, great result of the weekend. Why not? I think Stoke will change the side massively. I think they looking to try and get into the top 6 if they can. They've been a bit poor late. That defeat to Preston. Why not? I reckon Wigan will win that 1-0. But I don't think it'll affect Wigan. Because if actually, Wigan 25 league games, they've got Papa John's games to play. So they've got at least 27 games in 109 days. So you forget about those. You know, they have to compete. Like their owner said, they have to compete. And Andy Holt goes back, who goes at him, who's, no, not exactly. I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's a good owner. I think he interacts well with football fans, but I think he's Aki Stanley and that's it. I don't think he likes the way that Wigan are doing things, but, you know, will the game now hinder Wigan playing 3 times a week? It will eventually, but everyone said that last year about Blackpool. When Blackpool had loads of games in hand, oh, they won't get the playoffs, they got loads of games in hand. If Wigan win on the Saturday, they bounce into Tuesday. And if they continue to win and draw, if they say go 5 on Burton, well, all of a sudden you got a spring in your step, you're never tired, and you get some momentum. You want to play every day. Where if you lose, the next game you're a bit like, oh, pressure's on here, we've got to win. Nerve can build up and you lose again. And then tension builds, and then the tiredness kicks in, and then players are a bit more sluggish. So it all depends on how they're doing in those games. If they're winning them, it's fine because you're bouncing into them. If you're losing them, it could either go really well where Wigan on an unbelievable streak and win the league or finish second, or a bit tired and where they slope into the playoffs. It's going to happen either way. I do believe they will go on a good run and challenge Rotherham and Sunderland for that league title. I think those 3 teams are way above your Ipswichs, your Wycombes, your Oxfords, your MK Dons, your Plymouths right now at this point in time. If you remember last year, the top 3 in the league went up. You know, all went up. Peterborough second, Blackpool won the playoffs. You know, and that just tells you everything, doesn't it? And you know, Lincoln, who got 5th, you know, got to the playoff final, and Sunderland again didn't get there. This is their moment now. They've got to go up. Pritchard's level. It took him a while, but again, he's getting there now, which I like as well. Keep playing this opportunity. Are you keeping an eye on the Accrington? I've not watched it. I'll be honest with you. Again, if I'm honest with you, I didn't watch much football over the Christmas period as well. I got right into the darts. I was watching that every day, sorry. And I totally forgot what football was. And then when the Fleetwood games got called off, I wasn't even too fussed because it was Sunderland and Wigan. So I was a bit like, I came back because I thought, oh, we'll play. We've got integrity. And then an hour later, we call the game off and they've got Wigan fans in me, it's Sunderland fans in me. I'm just like, oh, God. I have to come off Twitter for 24 hours just to, you know, could do with Bolton and Wycombe drawing for our sake. Bolton are getting dragged into it. Bolton only a point above Fleetwood. And that's like Fleetwood are only 4 points behind Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury got 7 points in 3. And all of a sudden, you don't talk about Shrewsbury going down now. A couple of wins in League One, you bounced, you're up there, you're mid-table and you're looking for the top 12. You know, Charlton aren't out of it, or, you know, everyone thinks, oh, they're out of it. They're not. Anyone in this that bottom half could go down. But that is my worry. The next 3 games are Rotherham, top at league. You've got Charlton, who are, you know, are in a false position, and you've got Plymouth, who are doing really well under former manager Stephen Schumacher. How many points we need? I'd say we need to look for 3. And I think we'll get 1, if I'm honest with you. I can't see us beating Rotherham. I think we can get a point out of Plymouth. You know, and then Cambridge and Shrewsbury are next, where you're going to have to get 6. Where if you get 4 points out of them, beat Cambridge, you're into Shrewsbury with nothing to lose. Didn't like Andy Howe's comments last season saying we should have been taking out and putting the league to this season for integrity. I just don't get him. Like, he's painful at times. Like, I know what Fleetwood did was bad, but just, oh, you know, we're going to charge you extra ticket prices. It's like, hang on a minute. Like, just ban the ones who trashed it. Find out. Oh. Anyway, I've had enough talking about him. Prediction for Fleetwood versus Rotherham. 2-0 Millers. Unfortunately, I just think Rotherham are the best team in League One. You know, man for man. Great team. Unbelievable manager. Got a very good system. Play it well. Why not? Pompey being linked with Cameron Archer, decent little player. Will Reading be in League One next year? I think Reading will stay up. I think the three that will go down, I think Derby will go down for all the fights. Peterborough will go down. The third one, anyone could go down for me. Barnsley. It'll have to be Barnsley. The awful Barnsley. We're not lost in 4, and you reckon we can get playoffs? No, but we have Pritchard and Butcher back from injury as well, coming from an Aki fan. Why not? I could take a dare to dream. But for me, I think they're way off. I think they could hit top 10, but I just think there's 9 clubs above them. You know, there's 6 in the playoffs right now. You've got Ipswich, Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday, MK Dons in the mix. There's so many good teams this year. But there's so many poor teams as well. Macaulay Bonner Sunderland is doing the rounds a bit. Tell you what, he scored his first. He's another one like Stewart. Went a while without a goal, got his 12th goal of the season. Could he go on a run now? Let's just say. Any Fleetwood transfer winner. The only one I've heard, Matete leaving, out of the squad on Saturday, always got a knock. Yeah, of course he has. First game in the transfer window, and all of a sudden he's got a knock when he was training on Friday afternoon. Just a bit suspicious to me. That Gills on loan from MK Dons is the only thing I've heard. Let's see. How would keeping us out of the league be no income at all? Exactly. When Accrington played MK Dons, I think Scott Twine is the best player in League One. However, my Accrington did well for a draw. Exactly. Accrington can go to good sides and get points, especially at home. Gavin Messi is back in. Think we'll go down the season. Have some positivity, James. It's like Cairns made an unbelievable stop the other day, by the way, to keep us up. My money's Wigan to win the league and Miller's runners up. I hope MK Dons win the players, but it is a lottery. It really is. You know, that Papa John's and the FA Cup, could hinder them. One injury to any of the players and, you're done, really. Who's coming up to League One? Forest Green looks soon. Yeah, Forest Green. Tranmere on a good run, Northampton on, could always sneak in. There's so many teams that could go up. I wouldn't like to bet. Sutton are having a good season, aren't they, I think, as well. So, imagine. Honestly, I'd hate to go down this year because it's going to be a tough League 2 next season, in my opinion. That's the problem. I think Matete will go to Stoke. For me, I think they're the team that's been interested, all through the summer and all through the season, and he was unbelievable against them early season. Good Preston, played Tom Pearce, hoping not. That's the thing. I do think, say at Wigan, try and win a promotion and then see in the season. I'm a bit behind why it's a good thing that Joe Garner might be leaving. Joe Garner, for me, he's 33. He's got 18 months left on his contract. I don't think he'll feature much. I think he was he was obviously a Grayson signing as well. Been injured for 2 months pretty much now. Not played under Craney. Again, he scored once when he played it. I've never liked the look of him, if I'm honest with you. I think he's a little bit slow. And for me, I just think go and get someone else in who's ready to play. That's just my opinion on it anyway. Putting Rose versus Sunderland on Saturday. I think Sunderland will win that one. You think Wigan will go up with 2? I think Wigan will go up. I do. But I think they need to get out of these cup competitions. I think that'll be the blessing in disguise. Watson until could get recalled. Yeah. I don't see why not. I think if you're looking in, you may be trying to take from your rivals, really, aren't you? Accrington 0, Sunderland 2. Yeah. Sunderland are a very good side, and that's what you've got to say. But there's so many good sides in League One this season. And that is the end of today's stream. A good 55 minutes round. If you are watching it as a video, we will put timestamps down below. But please, guys, remember to like and subscribe. Let's hit that like button as we go out. Let's try and get over 30 likes. There's 48 of you in here. If you've not liked it, please just go down below. Just press like. It doesn't cost anything. It's easy to do, and it would help me out so much. It helps bring viewers into the channel. And if you are new to the channel, you've never seen my face, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. If you're a League One supporter, get them to subscribe. Again, so much content coming. We've got reviewing every team season in 30 seconds. Or this week sometime as well. We've also got a couple of match day vlogs coming up. We've got Rotherham on Saturday. We've got loads of games, Fleetwood coming up as well. We've got a couple of League One live streams just like this. But we are going to love you and leave you. But thank you very much for watching. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks to everyone that has tuned in. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Keep you on forever. And it's a big over and out from me. And just remember, before we do go, that Danny Andrew is the best on earth.